Hey guys, sorry about that. Apparently my the memory on my camera ran out. As you guys saw, I just went and tried to and checked see if the battery was full, but I didn't check to see if the memory card was full, and it actually got filled up, so that's why I got cut off. But anyway, guys, like I was saying about I'll Be Home for Christmas, like I said, really funny, good movie. Disney made it. I don't know if I told you guys that Disney did it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it for the entire family to watch. It's a really funny movie. I thought it was hilarious when I was a little kid. I laughed so hard to it. So for little kids, I'm sure it's really funny. But there's also some more mature jokes that older adults can watch it with their kids and can actually get some enjoyment out of it as well. Now for my number 4 pick. Oh yeah, 4. This is another movie that I don't have with me, but it is the Polar Express. I remember the first time I saw this movie, and when I first watched it, I knew it was going to be a new favorite Christmas, a new Christmas holiday favorite for, anybody who watched it and loved it. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful movie. And it is actually, it's kind of a Christmas tradition now, like on TV, like on ABC Family, or like any channel that plays a lot of good Christmas movies. They play the Polar Express a lot. Now, first of all, I love the animation. This is probably my favorite type of animation, next to just classic drawn animation. This is my second favorite. Of course, all the characters are so realistic. The snow looks like real snow. It's very beautiful. This pearl white snow just falling everywhere in this movie. Of course, the sound effects are good. The whole movie just has probably the best Christmas feeling, I think. There's only a few movies, even movies that I've talked about now, they're good movies. And they're good Christmas movies, but they don't have like as big of a Christmas feeling as this movie does. Like I said, it's a beautiful film. All the characters, are very realistic. You don't know any of the names of the characters except for the one kid, Billy. Tom Hanks plays a great conductor. I think that he was perfect for the role, in the film. The scene, of course, when the Polar Express comes up. And he's just like, well, you coming? And the little boy's like, where? And it's like, well, to the North Pole, of course. This is the Polar Express. And he's just like, it's just a perfect character, It's really, really a great scene. And of course, they actually have this song, the Polar Express, that is played in the movie and in the end credits too. That I don't know the lyrics of it, but it's just a fun, cheerful song. But like I said, there's so many amazing, good Christmas scenes to it. One of my favorite scenes is when the girl in it and the boy is standing in the back of the train. He's looking up into the sky, and he starts singing "When Christmas Comes to Town," and the girl walks out and joins him, and they just start singing singing the song together in a really great duet. And they start looking up into the sky, and like, of course, the the stars and stuff start making shapes of like presents and of sleighs up in the sky. And then they go to the, it's just a really, really beautiful scene. And they both sound really good. They both have really good singing voices. And then of course they go over to Northern Lights, and that's just a really, 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 really touching scene. Of course, there's some good action in it. There's like one scene when they're going down the big hill and they're strapped to the front. Like, I literally thought it'd be a cool idea. And I think an amusement park should do this. They should actually have a Polar Express ride where you would go through all that. Go down, the huge, the hill, go through I think call it Flat Top Tunnel. Go through that. I think that would be a really cool thing to do. And then, of course, the scene when they're in the last car of the train and it gets disconnected and it goes, into the turntables, and they actually have to hurry or they're gonna miss Santa at the end of the movie. And it's like the conductor keeps saying it's 5 minutes till midnight, but yet it's like 30 minutes later and it's still not even 5 minutes, which you knew that was gonna happen. I even think that the nerdy character is pretty funny. The kid with the glasses. He reminded me of some kid I used to go to school with, who, I think he just reminded me of it. But like I said, this movie has a great Christmas feeling throughout, and it really celebrates innocence. I think it really captures, being excited for Santa to come on Christmas Eve, and just, just being just completely excited about it. Of course, the main kid, he doesn't really believe. He's getting kind of older, so he doesn't really, believe as much in Santa. So at the very end of the movie, he almost doesn't see Santa. And, it's kind of a sad scene, but, it comes out in the end. And I really liked what it did at Santa in this movie. In every single movie I've seen, Santa is always portrayed as like this sort of chubby guy. He's the guy in a red suit with a big beard. And that, I do believe that's the main, I do believe that's the main interpretation of what Santa looks like. Don't get me wrong, I think that is exactly how Santa should look. But I like in this movie how that they made him look more royal. You know what I mean? He actually looks like the king, the king of the North Pole. And, I like the way that they had him do it. And, of course, the scene when he goes up into his sleigh and he says, now dash away, that's from the night before Christmas. And, I think that was a really nice touch at the end. So, yeah, The Polar Express, definitely an amazing film. Probably a new Christmas favorite for some people. They're now playing it on TV now like they play the other ones. And I really do think that it's a Christmas classic up there with, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Frosty, the Charlie Brown Christmas Special, which are all ones that I enjoy watching as well. But I definitely think that The Polar Express is definitely up there with them. Now, to save some time, I'm going to talk about my number 3 and 2 picks at the same time, and it's okay because it's the first one and then the sequel. Now, like I said, when I was younger, I would just watch movies constantly. I didn't have a lot of friends when I was younger, and I'll probably do a whole video where I talk more about this, but I didn't have a lot of friends when I was younger. I didn't get out of the house a lot. So when I was younger, I would just sit around and just watch movies constantly, like all the time, over and over again. And these were two movies that pretty much I became obsessed with when I was younger. And they are Home Alone and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Now, if you guys have watched my Macaulay Culkin movie collection, you guys should know I'm a huge fan of Macaulay Culkin. Back when I was really young, I think this came out in 1991, I saw Home Alone on VHS, and then I also saw Home Alone 2 at the same time. I think I got them both. And the reason why is because Home Alone 2 had just come out, and so they re-released the first Home Alone on VHS. I'm going to talk about the first one. But like I said, I used to watch this movie all the time. And it's one of those movies where even though it's a Christmas movie, I could watch Home Alone any day of the week. It could be in the middle of July, and I still would love to watch it. I was a huge fan of Macaulay Culkin as Kevin. Him getting left behind by his family, and having to defend his entire house by the two burglars, Marv and Harry. That is childhood memories like galore, basically, for me. Home Alone is one of, if not my favorite movie of all time. It might be my favorite movie. Like I said, it has a really good Christmas feeling, but it's not like fully Christmas. Like you can watch it any time of the year, and it still just have as much power. Now the second one I don't like as much, but I really think that it has a better Christmas feeling. One scene that I love in Home Alone 2 is when he goes to the toy store, the huge toy store, and he looks at all the great toys and all the Christmas decorations. I think that was a really great, that had just a great Christmas feeling throughout, because of course Christmas and toys always go together. And of course when he meets the pigeon lady with the turtle doves, that's just a really nice touchy scene. And these were directed by Christopher Columbus, but they were written by John Hughes. Now, I'm a huge fan of John Hughes. I've seen pretty much all of his films, and I've liked every single one of them. He is definitely one of my favorite directors. You know, not just with these movies, with every movie that I've seen. And, you know, I'm a huge fan of him, of his films, and of course Macaulay Culkin. I love all the films I've seen him in, and I really hope that he comes back someday. But like I said, Home Alone and Home Alone 2, you know, these movies, it doesn't get better than this for me. These are definitely two of my favorite movies of all time, and two of my favorite childhood movies of all time, and they really capture, you know, childhood, youth, and innocence for me. So yeah, I could go on and on talking about these two movies, but I'm not going to right now, but I'll just leave it at that. You know, Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Now, I would have put Home Alone as my #1 Christmas movie, but like I said, I can watch Home Alone any day of the week, and I would still love to watch it, you know, just as much. So when I wanted to pick a favorite Christmas movie, I wanted to pick a movie that I only enjoyed watching during Christmas time, and a movie that I can watch any day of December, and it has probably the best Christmas feeling out of all these movies. This one and The Polar Express are probably tied for a Christmas feeling for me, but if I had to pick like my favorite Christmas movie, and this is probably a favorite of everybody that has seen this movie, and it's definitely one of the best, maybe even the best Christmas movie, I think, and most popular Christmas movie ever made. And that is A Christmas Story. You can't have a favorite Christmas movie collection without this film. You know, of course, the film starts, you know, little boy Ralphie, and he wants that special toy, that special gift, you know, the Red Ryder carbine action 200-shot range model air rifle. Yes, I memorized the entire name of the gun, and he wants nothing more than that. And that, I'm sure that every little kid, you know, has always had that one toy that he's always wanted, and he went around asking his parents, and of course, you know, your parents would say, "Oh no, you can't have that." You know, I think even adults that watch the movie can remember, "Oh, I remember there was that one toy I always wanted. My parents never let me have it, so I went to go ask Santa Claus." And you know, usually, of course, if you ask Santa, then your parents are like, "Oh, well, if he has Santa, we have to get it, or always he's gonna stop believing in Santa or whatever." Whereas in this one, Santa tells him the exact same thing: "You shoot your eye out, kid." You know, and there's so many iconic scenes in this movie. Like, of course, the rabbit suit. Everybody remembers that scene of him, you know, in the rabbit suit, the pink rabbit suit. Of course, the leg lamp. I go to FYE a lot, or any place that sells like Christmas stuff, and you will not believe how many leg lamps are out there. You know, I'm sure everybody remembers the leg lamp. You know, probably my favorite scene out of all of it was probably the scene when Flick gets his tongue stuck to the pole. Now I remember before I had this movie on VHS, I have a very old VHS copy of it. Before I had it, I didn't remember the name of this movie, but I did remember the scene when Flick got his tongue stuck to the pole. And when I finally figured out what movie it was, I immediately grabbed it and I watch it every year. Like I said, this is probably one of the best Christmas movies. You know, it's played every year on Christmas time. Even on, I think, ABC Family, they played in 24-hour marathons all Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And I can't think of a better Christmas movie. This is the perfect Christmas film. You know, some people would say like, "Oh, It's a Wonderful Life," or something like that, but some of the movies are kind of depressing. Or It's a Wonderful Life, from what I remember, it's kind of depressing, and it doesn't take place all on Christmas. If I'm thinking of the right movie, yeah, It's a Wonderful Life. Whereas this one, you know, it really captures innocence and youth, and you know, basically the only problem in this kid's life, the major challenge that he has, is getting a toy for Christmas. You know, and that reminds me of when I was younger, when all I ever wanted were movies. And I found that when I was younger, you know, the only problem that I had was getting a certain movie that I wanted. And so it really reminds me of that, even though I'm older. And I'm sure people that are much older now, they still watch it, you know. Even people that are like 40, 50 years old, 60 years old, they still watch this movie. Yet 10 and 11-year-old kids watch this movie. It really affects all ages, and it's definitely the best Christmas movie in my own opinion. Well, there you go, guys. That is my really long video talking about my top 10 Christmas movies. Like I said, if you guys have seen any of these movies, let me know what you guys think about them. Also, I wanted to do this video as not only to share my Christmas movies, but also to talk about my Christmas memories. So I hope you guys like my story about going to my grandmother's house on Christmas and, you know, looking at her decorations. And I would like to know, what are some of your Christmas memories? And that can be anything from, you know, if you're a much older viewer, what was your favorite Christmas memory when you were a kid? You know, like when you were younger. Or if you have new memories you want to talk about now that you're older, let me know what are some of your Christmas memories now. You know, so leave, you know, comments down below if you guys, you know, about anything you want. You can tell me, guys, anything. You could also do video responses if you want. Just send them to me through my personal message, because I would really love to know what are some of your favorite holiday memories that you have, you know, because like I said, I can't get enough Christmas. So anyway, check those out. Also, I'll leave links down below to my 2 reviews on I'll Be Home for Christmas and Jack Frost, or I'll leave annotations on the screens right here. Check those out. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm probably going to do one more Christmas related video, and it's just going to be on Christmas Eve is when I'll probably post it. So stay tuned for that, guys. It'll probably be one of my last videos. And then I'm going to do another video shortly after that where I talk about the new changes I'm doing with my channel. I'm not going to get into the changes I'm doing now, but you know, once you see that video, you guys will know. And then for my last video of the year, this is probably the hardest video I've ever done. I'm doing a video where I talk about my top 25 favorite movies of all time. And these movies you can't beat them for me. And you guys will actually know what my top favorite films are. And I think that my #1 pick for my favorite movie is going to surprise you. I'll give you a hint though. Even though I talked about Home Alone a lot, Home Alone might be tied with something. And I'll just give you that. So anyway, guys, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Check out my 2 check out my 2 Christmas reviews. Share your memories. And I'll see you guys on Christmas Eve. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys.